Hello.
Is Billy in the crib right now?
Yo, yo,
Yes.
yo.
Yes.
How we doing, everybody?
Good to see everyone.
It's a beautiful Monday, a money Monday yet again. An hour delayed this time, but all good, all is well.
True.
I was joking earlier that we need to do a Money Monday after hours or something. take a shot every ungating question.
Yeah. That wouldn't be a very long stream if we did that.
No, it would not.
That would be a very short stream. Yeah. Okay, I've never done this before. Is this very good for beginners? Well, luckily, my friend, no one has done this before when they got started. So, I mean, it's definitely going to get easier as you go, but I guess it's pretty good for beginners. Am I being loud?
For sure.
One of my ears shut down, so I can't hear as well right now. That happens whenever I swim an excessive amount.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You getting those strokes in?
No, I don't even. No, I've just been pool maxing. Looking fresh, appreciate it.
Somebody said Miles looking fresh. Oh yeah, fresh haircut.
They're coming early.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah. So drop questions about Amazon. I guess we weren't even if this is your first Money Monday, let us know how we can help you out. Drop some Amazon questions. We'll hang out here for quite a bit. Got Pickle Rick in the building.
Yep. We got it's a couple of the regulars were in here. Yeah. What up, Armand?
Someone was saying yesterday that they thought Pickle Rick was one of Miles's burner accounts.
No, well, 0 day. 0 day. Peter said he thought 0 day was my burner.
What's better, Smart Scout or SellerAmp? They don't really do the same thing, so it depends on what your goal is.
Yeah, if you're asking that question though, it's definitely SellerAmp in terms of like what's more useful to you. If you're even asking that question, in terms of serving purpose, if you're unfamiliar with either of them, you shouldn't be doing wholesale immediately. You know. What's up? I have a question. I'm planning to start selling Amazon with shoes from outlets. I have local buddies that are making 10K a month. I only have like 6K to work with. Would you recommend getting a business credit card? Yeah, dude, because just right off the bat, you have a great amount of capital to start with, and then you'll be able to get cash back from day one too. So like the Amex Blue is a great option. The Amex Plum is a great option. So whatever's kind of your neck of the woods. There's some good cashback chase cards too.
What you probably don't want to do is leverage a whole lot of personal credit, because that's just like a hamster wheel, right? You'll spend a lot on inventory. They'll crush your personal credit. You won't be able to get more credit, and you won't be able to kind of get out of that rat race until you essentially take a couple months off, which obviously we don't.
Or 1 month. 1 month if you do it really well. I remember I had that shit dialed like crazy. Tio's guy took the month off for January. Bang. First day personal credit reported or like skyrocketed. Bang. Capital One Spark. Back in the game. 2% cash back. Never look back.
Yeah, you've always, back in the day, you had a calendar in your mind of when certain cards were due, when you had to spend them.
I still have that because that's important. That's actually going to be in a Q4 video I have coming up. Like the cash flow management with that. Like I used to be unbelievably good at that.
Dude, I would just spend. I've never been.
I mean, especially if you can time if you guys can change your statement balance due to time like right before Black Friday, right? So you can spend, and then you get basically like 58 days or whatever it is instead of 30 days. That's the meta game for.
That's really getting in the weeds. I've never been that hip to like the timing of it, but also luckily I guess enough. I hadn't really needed to.
As a college kid, I don't have a lot of space. Yes, you do. You have enough.
Go on.
You can always get a storage unit.
Yeah, like dude, you have enough. Like. You have enough.
Somewhere Miles was dropping out of the dorm room.
Yeah, I have like over 100 pairs at a time. Like people, I've been through the trenches for the mission, and I will.
You have a picture posted somewhere in the deep depths of Flips for Miles. There's like 50, 100 pairs in a dorm room. So if that picture exists, then you guys can run it up.
Plus, you can always just FBA if you genuinely cannot, like your school doesn't let you ship or whatever it is. Like
you got a closet.
You can always prep center.
You're not wearing some of those high school sporting hoodies. Like, come on, like.
Yeah, there's also no reason to receive packages as a college student. Like, there's no reason to. Just ship it to a prep center.
Yeah. What credit card score do you think? Chase Business. So I wouldn't get a Chase card to start just because those are typically the hardest ones to get. I'd say probably like at least like 725, 750 Experian. I'm also not an expert though, but I've seen like people get Amexes really easily as a beginner. So that's probably
750 is high.
Huh?
750 is a good score.
Chase
is annoying because they won't. They're a lot more conservative with the credit lines they'll give you. So like for example, our Capital One Spark line I think is like 250K, and then our chase line is 13K, and they won't raise it over that. So it's not even worth using. Yeah, the chase.
Oh, no. Like you,
Business
like,
Premier.
I mean,
We've
they gave me
requested
40
increases like 3 times, so we just use a Capital One Spark.
Yeah, they gave me 40 racks like 2 months ago. Like I don't even
Yeah.
know credit card. Like I just have it sitting there.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of trouble with them.
My personal line for Capital One or for Chase is like 45. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
when will I ever need?
That they'd give it to you if you worked.
When do I ever need 45 personal?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
if
Chase is
I'm not
the most
actually
for
supposed
personal,
to
though.
receive the products myself, no, you do at the start. You do at the start, and you do retail arbitrage too. Because if you're in a college town, there's definitely some places to do retail arbitrage. Well, you do whatever it takes. Scroll back to 2019. You can see me doing my thing out of my dorm room. If I can do it, so can you. Yeah, Amex, man. Amex Blue, Amex Plum. You have a 6
Pickle
enough.
Pickle Rick had a good question. I'm curious to hear your guys' answer. So he said, what are some ways that you guys have been refining your business as of late? So I know for us, I mean, we've just been selling through a lot of old stock. So products that just are no longer profitable that we've been sitting on. We're just trying to free up as much cash flow as we can going into Q4. And yeah, that's the main thing. And really our margins have started to come up as a result of just cleaning out a lot of that old inventory.
Yeah, we brought in an employee recently, like 2 weeks ago, just to simply manage inventory, place restock orders, identify what needs to be restocked, what needs to be phased out. 40 hours, like just her only mission is to just manage inventory.
Cool. Okay. Good news. Matt, unanonymous himself. Good for
What
you,
up, Matt?
Yeah.
What's up?
Attaboy.
That's fire. Well, you love to see it. You love to see the progression. I can't wait for the
We'll get the
at the
sheet
end of the
Matt
username or yep.
There we go. And then when they really get smart, they start posting the videos, right? And then subsequently you see the 5K a month post, the 12K a month post, and then a seasonal opportunity goes by, subsequently coinciding with the videos being posted, and then you see the 34, the 47, right, or the 42, right? And you realize we were saying stuff of substance all along.
Is LTL worth it? Corey, you have a good cutoff for when it's worth LTL, right? It's like 300, 400 pounds or something.
Yeah, well, it depends on the ship from and the ship to. I mean, really, because SPD is going to typically be faster than LTL, it makes sense just to ship. Yeah, so I mean, if it's less than like 2 pallets, I would probably just ship it or SPD. And then anything from like 1 to 10 pallets worth, I'm talking like one decent sized pallet, 1 to 10 pallets will be LTL for the most part. And then usually 10 or more pallets, it makes more sense to go FTL.
And 100 or more pallets, buy your own damn truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You used to be able to get set up in Carrier Central as like your own like freight company. So I knew some big sellers back in the day that when they'd be shipping truckloads to Amazon, they would just literally buy a truck, sign up for Carrier Central, schedule their own appointments, and then just deliver their own shipments.
That's fire.
If they live close to an FC.
I had a pallet was picked up a week and a half ago, and there's still no tracking. It's probably just sitting outside the warehouse. What's up?
Partnered?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's the worst. And right now, you're pretty much screwed at this point.
We've been waiting a month for them to pick up a pallet right now.
They haven't even picked it out.
I've been spamming the support, like where the hell is this truck? And they just keep giving me the runner.
Is it just at your prep center?
You can ask them to switch carriers. You can ask them to assign you a different
carrier. I got an email from like the actual company earlier today, so I might be.
Who's the carrier?
Literally been some weird initials. I don't even know.
AAA Cooper?
I don't think so. I can look at it.
Because they just
it's gotta be DHL.
They just took 2 weeks. AAA Cooper just took 2 weeks to pick up a shipment for us. And so we had to get deep in with them and then just basically get them we just had to like yell at them to send somebody that day.
Yeah. Our pallet got picked up. Couldn't tell you where it is. Somewhere.
This might even just be is AIT shipper support is where they said they were coming from. That could just be an Amazon internal.
I don't even know.
I've never seen him say that. Yeah.
Yikes. No wonder. Oh, jeez.
We got.
Let's go. It's good.
The Miles update just finished downloading.
Miles 2.0.
Keith flips in the building.
So Pickle Rick said, what's the best way to find out about missing inventory? Is there a good process to keep track of leakage? Yeah, so we just use a reimbursement service to handle all that. So the one that we use, it's called Seller Investigators. They have a dashboard that pretty much tells you the sum of all of your pending claims right now. So I think right now we have like over 60K worth of quote unquote leakage that they're trying to get back for us. So if we didn't use a service like Seller Investigators, we would just have to have an employee that handles all that. But instead of having that overhead, we just choose to use that service, and they charge as they get money back. They charge a percentage of what they get back. So it's definitely worth it.
You should probably have an admin VA for that, Corey.
Yeah, definitely.
There's no.
I mean, maybe
we stopped using those at scale because you're going to pay an admin $500 a month, or you're paying them what, thousands? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's a fair point, but it's just something that's just one more thing that I've got to train them to do and bring them on to do. So yeah, I mean it makes sense in the long run to have somebody internally do it, but just for now, we just haven't made that move yet.
Low key.
Huh?
I said convenient time for Corey to be wearing that T-shirt. My dog is
I know, yeah.
playing comments in the chat.
That's funny. Pickle Rick is actually a VA hired to keep the combo flowing.
You guys, that would actually be smart. That would be such a good investment, though.
I would, yeah.
Right.
If you're like newer and you like need it, but like we got plenty of real people who we can help out.
You guys have a video on how exactly I package and ship everything, like real basic. Warren, you have a couple, right?
Yeah, I just made a new one, so it should be like probably the best video that's currently up on YouTube. Somebody will make a better one in 6 months when they change some settings, but should be the best one on YouTube right now. It's one of my recent videos.
Did you do it yourself?
Yeah.
Do you have all the stuff still at home to like?
Well, I didn't actually put things in a box on camera, but you don't need me to show you how to put things into a box. You need me to show you how to click the buttons and stuff. This is how you put item in cardboard.
I mean, the labeling. There's a lot to it. My credit score is 805, but Chase Inc. only gave me 12K 5 months ago. Should I ask for an increase with Chase or go?
That's what I'm saying. They'll give you. They didn't give me a very good rate. I have good credit as well. I mean, it was a business credit card, but we have established business credit, so I don't know why we would get a rate that's 5% of our capital.
Well, so Amex doesn't care, man. Amex will just drown you in money. So that's just the worst case. Like,
but one thing that did come up was like a couple years ago. Like I was saying, I used to get really deep in those credit card forums. And there was this one blog post that had a ton of upvotes on Reddit that was like, if your jump shots clapped, that Chase gives you a really low limit.
Oh yeah, that must be it.
Yeah, so I mean that's like the only realistic reason I feel like.
Right.
Yeah.
What happens?
Miles, do you see Danny's tweet about New Jersey versus Southeastern PA?
Bro, that shit makes me so mad because there's pockets of cool people all over the country that will never know each other because they're all too afraid to post videos of themselves talking on the internet, and they all have to work way harder and all have to make less money as a result of it. It's kind of sad, honestly.
I was just trying to talk about some basketball, but we took it.
Well, no, it's true regardless, though, right? I mean, because that's the thing. It's like, who can we? Like their team chemistry would be off too. Like,
I saw some people like going onto the SellerAmp and just like hit people up in your town, see if they're down to like chop it up.
That's actually not a bad idea. Yeah.
Well, they got to be down for the minor invasion of privacy, but like the right person.
Yeah, I mean, how do you start that combo? Hey, I was doing some snooping on.
I found your. Hey, I found your.
Yeah. How do you start that combo?
Found everything about your business.
When we get the boxing event, we do. Yeah, Amazon sells boxing. No one wants.
Who would be in the ring? Billy versus Miles. Who would you have your money on?
Well, no. Well, that's also like the height and wingspan is off there.
You need some real beef though for a boxing event. You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
Like the FBM versus FBA crowd, or like
the FBM crowd would destroy them. It wouldn't be close because the FBM crowd is so much more. One,
they're willing to work. They can actually move around for one.
They got way more money. Yeah, they got way more money. They're way more willing to do whatever it takes. They make money quicker.
We've definitely seen some beef though over the years. I can't think of
not anyone will mention here though. You know, Southwest PA. Yeah, wow, it's interesting. Yeah, there's actually a couple people from Pittsburgh were hitting me up.
Wholesalers versus arbitrage.
Well,
actually,
that's what I said.
We could have some real beef between like the private label supremacists and like the brand name.
I think that's a good way. I think that's a good way to classify them, the private label supremacists, of which there are many on LinkedIn.
They make like $3,000 a month, and they think it makes no sense to be making gobs of cash flow with wholesale and stuff.
Delegatable.
Yeah.
FBM crowd at 0 day. That's a fact. Yeah, exactly. Like that's 0 day would be on the undercard. Yeah, it'd be like it wouldn't even be a question.
Oh yeah, we should get Grant versus Pete Split.
That's that wasn't real beef, but it was funny.
No, I know, but that was funny.
Yeah. What's your strategy for Black Friday? So number one, make sure you start holding some money back in like a week or two, I'd say.
Yeah.
It really just depends on when your credit card payback periods are. Like just have maximum capital without freezing right now. It's still good to send to FBA. But then go to blackfriday.com is a good resource. You can see what the sales they ran last year. You can see the upcoming sales for each website. And then you can kind of start to strategize, see which sites might have the best sales for your favorite brands, and just kind of jump in as soon as the minute the sales start. Go. Don't wait until the next day, the next night, that kind of thing. Like at midnight, there's a lot of money to be made if you're.
Make sure you queue up your Spotify.
Yeah,
playlist.
I feel like the real ones are waiting 8
hours of bumps going, and you'll just get in the lab.
Yeah.
Oh, Sadiq is a power forward, actually. No, so Sadiq's a shooting guard with power forward arms. But it was you and Garrett. Or Sadiq and Garrett took the L to Stephen Body and myself. Yeah. Embarrassing. Okay, here we go. What advice/information would you give to yourself? Wait, what happened?
Well, no, we mainly lost your jump shot. Let's be
You called him embarrassing and then immediately tried to change the conversation.
Oh, it was Sadiq and myself versus Miles's jump shot. Is essentially what it came down to.
You give Steven no credit.
Up on Sadiq, huh?
How does Miles source nowadays? He just knows where to look, how to find stuff, and he goes pretty quick.
Well, I do a shitload of sourcing with Coach, like 2 or 3 hours a day. I'm probably up there for most time spent like me and like some of the best VAs in the game. Like in terms of like total reps put in, like it's got to be up there.
Did you just compare yourself to?
Well, no, like total reps.
Miles is a
will
VA.
you be my VA?
Total reps. I'm actually approaching 100K lifetime on the AMP too. 100K product.
By yourself with no VAs is impressive.
Is that most in the league? Is that most? Oh, Warner, you're up there, right?
I've got 1.4 million,
max
but I've had the
out.
team on my account for like ever.
Yeah. Who was your NBA team? I don't watch sports ball. I only play it. Applied for the plum today. Attaboy, Elijah. Yeah, all right, Elijah. We got to kill the elephant in the room, though. It's far past time for you to get on video, man. We do have to kill that little elephant in the room. Best tips for using Plum. Do you always pay back early? Well, if you can, man, definitely. But the big value of the Plum is going to be when you don't pay it back and you take advantage of the 60-day payback period.
Somebody else asked earlier, just
flips approval.
Yes, he was like, "Yo, that shit was fire!" Like he was hyping me up over there.
Somebody else asked earlier, just best business credit cards. They said they're looking at the Capital One Spark 2X. Yes, I assume you mean 2%. So that's my favorite card to use for inventory. My two favorite are the Capital One Spark or the Chase Ink Business Premier for inventory, and then Amex Platinum for OpEx or anything else really.
That's going to be more of like an advanced card though, right? For the beginners, like the 2% cashback is not going to get you much, right? Because if you don't have the cash to spend, then you're not really going to be able to leverage and
the cash flow is worth more from like
that's fair to say.
Like from 90% of the people in here, the Amex Plum is the only option, especially for people that are doing the retail arbitrage FBM. It's the only option.
It makes sense.
Yeah. What's the most important thing when it comes to sourcing? It sounds like you're kind of onto it. Like it's not about finding winners; it's about looking through losers as fast as possible, right?
I was gonna say the same thing, like disqualifying. The quicker you can disqualify products, so which I guess comes down to speed. And I don't remember who I was talking to the other day, but they made a good point. They were saying when you're sourcing, you should be looking for all the reasons not to buy a product. Not looking for reasons to buy a product.
Good products are obvious once you've gone through your little checklist. Like it made it through the filter, and there you go, right? So like I've been trying to craft like the perfect order with my team. Like check this, and like kind of the most optimal things to check. I haven't dialed it in yet, but theoretically, there's like a right order and things to check when you're
There's so much wiggle though when it's like, okay, I saw that item on that website a while ago. You know what I mean? You unlock that once you've been doing it a while.
It's just such a sourcing muscle thing, unfortunately. And fortunately, right? So 6 months down the line after you've worked the muscle, like people cannot compete with you just because you know what to look for.
Super fortunate.
And there's so much value in being able to say no, right? To be able to go through 100 products in 30 minutes compared to someone that can only get through 20. I mean, you're just naturally going to make so much more money. What does a good filter look like? Man, I'm big on filtering on velocity and volume first, right? Because with OA and wholesale and the like, you can fight for that extra margin if you need to, whether it be an extra gift card, whether it be an extra coupon, that sort of thing. With your sales rep, be like, hey, how many more do I need to buy to get the 5% more off, right? But volume is volume, will ever be volume, right? And so you can't really change a product that only moves 50 times a month. And so I would filter on velocity and volume first, and then worry about price and product and profit on the back ends.
Been thinking about doing drop shipping, TikTok, organic. I mean,
Do it.
You
Do it.
You can, yeah. There's no like, as long within reason, like there's no wrong thing to start.
No.
Different things are going to click for different people.
The only
So,
thing is the only bad part is to not start, which is what most people do. So squeeze the wealth, man, because you're gonna learn a lot doing that stuff too, man. And at the end of the day, like if you learn and keep taking action, like something's gonna hit for sure.
Yeah, all the little businesses that we all started that didn't turn into anything, we still use some of those nuggets in what we're doing now.
I would do it the same way over again every single time.
Is there any way to charge more for people across the country on standard shipping? Yeah, Chris, go look at my recent FBM video. I walked through shipping templates there.
How to deal with order cancellation. Some stores will let me put a few orders in. So you got to test it out, right? Different orders or different sites are going to allow you to do different things. Some are going to allow you to place 50 balls. Some are going to allow you to place 5. Some, like Kohl's, for example, you should wait for the Kohl's cash email to come in. Some you'll be able to loop back to back to back to back. Right? But you don't learn these things without going through that trial and error process, without actually testing things and fighting through those cancels. Some, if you use a credit card, you get canceled immediately. Some you need PayPal. Some you need Google Pay. Some you need gift cards. All these sorts of things you need to trial and error.
So somebody just asked, what are you mainly looking for when you're looking at Keep a chart? So there's 3 main things that I'm looking at. The first is the average buy box price. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm profitable at the average price, not just the current buy box price. I'm looking at the new offer count. So if that number is going up, like if more and more new sellers are jumping on the listing, then I'm probably going to be avoiding that listing, right? Because the buy box price is going to come down. And then the third thing I'm looking at, assuming there is like a MAP price in place, or if Amazon's on the listing, then I'm going to look at the buy box percentage and see if I can get a share of that buy box, or just make sure it's not getting dominated by 1 or 2 people.
Parker dropped a video retweet. Got you. 1 sec.
What does it mean when your product is in research? It's just essentially FC transfer. You just need to give it time before it goes active.
You should be able to sell it in a few days, a week, something like that.
Would it be better to start locally from Canada or U.S. market with Prep Center? Man, I personally, I would go to the U.S. market just because that's an inevitability. So it's just kind of delaying the inevitable. There's more people here, more demand. Everything's more here. So I would just come straight here, but that's just.
And we love credit card debt, and that boosts your Amazon sales.
And people love to spend in Q4. People love to spend in Q4.
Yeah, delaying the inevitable is a good point. Even some Canadians will crush it and then make it to $50K a month, but like.
And then they got to pivot, right? It's different sales ranks, different data. I mean, essentially, and so they have to relearn the nuances of the American marketplace. Gosh, guys, this is so distracting.
Guys, does SellerAmp tell you if a product requires transparency code? Somebody asked that. Warner, does it?
I don't think so.
Because there are other tools. We use some tools that will tell us that a product is transparency enabled.
It shouldn't be too hard to do them. So a lot of the tools break API rules, is why.
That might be why.
I'll add it to the list.
Yeah.
Can you resell things from sites such as Nah. Stay away from those.
Yeah, stay away from that.
So for retail arbitrage, how do you ship them after you find I mean, that's a YouTube video, Google search. You just use Amazon's FBM portal and you'll do just fine.
Somebody said, what is the best category to sell during Q4? Well, the answer is really every category is a great category to sell during Q4. Sales are up across the board. But categories that pop specifically during Q4, things like toys, things like grocery, some home and kitchen products, some tool products, anything that's giftable, which could be pretty much anything.
Yeah, luckily we live in capitalist America, so everything's popping off for the boys.
You avoid listings with the transparency stuff. So I don't, assuming we can get the transparency codes, but a lot of times it's hard to do that. that's when you really got to know the supplier that you're dealing with. If you're getting it directly from the brand, then it's a no-brainer. But if you're getting it through a wholesaler or a distributor, make sure that their units have those codes.
I don't really deal with some transparency codes a lot.
We've
It's
sold
usually
some
like
like
super high
Samsung
volume
products.
stuff.
Yeah, it's sometimes it's like electronics and like stuff that's, I guess, commonly counterfeited.
Yeah, it's usually really fast sellers. Like if you're buying wholesale, usually they know what you're doing with it and they'll give it to you.
Dante asking in jail time. What?
Best tips for raising average sale price as well as average profit per unit. Elijah, do the raise your price in the middle of the night every day, and then just make sure you're not like undercutting people by a penny is another classic one. I don't know if you guys have any other repricing tips. I'm sure Corey, Miles, and I do. Corey, you might as well have like repricing tutorial videos. You can walk through kind of our mindset on those repricing rules.
Yeah, I've got one. I mean, it's pretty much as long as you're implementing the yo-yo strategy. So you're raising your price, or your repricer is raising your price to max for at least 20 minutes every 3 hours at least. Then you're going to make some more sales at your max price. It's just going to raise your margins a little bit.
Well,
I mean, the important thing to point out though is that a repricer is not going to fix any of your bad purchases. Right? So that doesn't necessarily. You still need to grab buying accurately. Right, it's going to maximize your good purchases, but it's really not going to fix any bad ones.
Barbecue sauce, toothpaste, asking for transparent. It probably sold really fast, or it was probably like a mom and pop brand too. I bet. Yeah. Usually, it's like mom and pop brands that like really tailor, like kind of craft their e-com a little bit better.
Dude, G. Hughes barbecue sauce, the only one that matters. The sugar-free.
Is there
that is good stuff? Yeah.
The sugar-free barbecue sauce, probably. But it's so good.
Primal Kitchen. There's no seed oils in.
Are all generic listings bad? Yeah, we're kind of like the Wild West. Amazon does not like those listings though. They are starting to crack down on it. You'll start to get either inauthentic or IP complaints on that because they want it to be under like the proper brand listing.
There used to be a ton of those.
There used to be a ton of opportunity on those too.
Yeah,
but it's the opportunity just moved to the real listings. Like, so if you guys are ever looking at a listing, it says brand generic, or it's like a random storefront name or a weird misspelling. Don't sell that listing because it was not registered correctly, and so they can delist it from the brand basically.
Yeah.
Oh, Street Mad, that is a hot take.
That is scorching.
Sweet Baby Ray's is good, but I mean, I think I like GU's better.
60 grams of sugar and every
yeah, it's very sugary.
Corey, can you recreate the Mark Zuckerberg video, Sweet Baby Ray's?
What video?
Do you know what I'm
is
talking
that the
about?
one where he's like grilling? You're saying the one where he's like outside grilling?
He's like really trying to be a human being. He just keeps talking about how he loves Sweet Baby Ray's.
Whatever happened with the Mark Zuckerberg and Elon fight? Is that I'm assuming that's not going to happen.
No, it is not.
Damn. Yeah, I mean, in terms of like efficiency for the world, that like those dudes shouldn't really be worrying about that, you know? Like I even feel that way sometimes when the people ask me to bust your ass in one-on-one again, Garrett. But I did, you know, occasionally. I know you need humbling sometimes.
Did you just imply that you're important for the efficiency of the world?
No. The efficiency, I would say, for the Amazon community, relatively. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. Remember we streamed the one-on-one 2 years ago, Garrett, and we were at that park in Delaware.
Yeah,
we were taking
that place was kind of sick, but it was
so
many people there.
Oh man, part of me just wants to go live in a warehouse in some remote state. I'm not gonna lie.
Is being part of Amazon Homemade a good thing to do? Probably not. I don't know. I don't really know any of that.
If you're already in that business, then yeah. But
it's kind of like their Etsy. It's kind of like their Etsy. It's not really
Yeah, I mean, I dream about having a wife that live streams on TikTok to sell homemade products. Like, can we just run that up? Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I really do. Like that might be my final character development in like 10 years. Like.
That's your post retirement side quest.
Yeah, the business is not going to be profitable. I'll make that very clear. It doesn't have to be. So that way we can just run it up.
Character building.
Yeah.
SellerAmp and FBA inventory showing double inventory than what I shipped in. Example. Oh,
Sounds like they found a bunch of inventory that was somebody else's and gave it to you. If it really checks in and closes like that, then congrats. It makes up for some of the stuff they'll lose later on.
Yeah, that is wild.
what is Miles on tonight? This is the least focus we've had Miles in a very long time.
Because I have airport sweat right now, so like I haven't.
That's true. You landed like an hour and a half ago, right?
Yeah, I went boom, straight, got a bucket, 1-0 on the day. Oh, and I beat Danny in 1-on-1, so I'm 2-0 on the day.
Ooh,
and then just hop right back, boom, B flips, come in, let your boy in it. We're here. Let's get it.
Can you use a virtual mailbox address to get ungated? I don't know a ton about using virtual mailboxes. Probably though. If it's what's on your seller account.
Yeah, you have to ship to it. Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah, you don't have to if it's your billing and you can get it to show up and that's with your seller account, then yeah. But otherwise, no.
Yeah, it doesn't need to match your ship to, just your bill to.
Yeah.
It was that lost stuff. I submitted an order confirmation and they didn't accept it. Yeah, I would just resubmit it.
Add your UPS shipping and supplier to you shipping as well, just to prove that you owned it and prove the whole chain of what.
Pretty much the default answer to any Amazon problem is just redo it, resubmit.
Yeah, do it again.
Unfortunately.
Whether it's ungating, authenticities, any of that stuff, it's just resubmit. That's pretty much the.
One time you got credited for 1,000 wipes, you sent in 12. That's a huge W.
Jake and the boys are awesome. Like it's Jake, 0 Day, Cooper, Parker. Like they're an awesome squad. Like they're on the come up.
Is that the? Are they giving Peter squad a run for their money?
Well, they have heavy heritage. Like the Discord's popping, the group chat's popping. I wake up to the good mornings in the group chat. Obviously, I contribute to the good mornings. Obviously, right? 'Cause I'm a nice guy, right? I'll B flips and I'll tap in on the voice chat occasionally. It's the good shaves and brains.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Bro said it's the cut. His barber shaves and brain cells off too. Oh, yeah, Garrett, tell everyone about the new BBB episodes as well.
Yeah, did they both go up? I'm
Both
assuming.
went up.
Yeah, Friday, Saturday we had
Raj and Sam FBA.
Yes, both good episodes, both crushing it, by the way. Both started recently, or not Raj, but Sam started recently, and they're both crushing it. But also just good people to DM and connect with.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah, Sam started like 6 months ago, and she messaged me earlier today. She's like, "Bro, I need 100K. How do I get it?" Like, she's literally told me like, my mindset is so different now. How do I get? I need a ton of money. Like, how?
Yeah, Sam's awesome. And for all of you who think you don't have time, Sam gave birth in July.
That's the same girl. I remember.
She didn't just give birth. She did 40K FBM while giving birth in 1 month.
Yes.
Some of you have the audacity to say
insane.
you can't FBM in college. It disgusts me. Like, it really does. Like, come on, guys, be better.
Miles and I have both interviewed her on our channel.
Yes.
So you guys,
that video gets a lot of views.
Yeah.
Is TA still worth it? I get a lot of mismatches. Yeah, I mean, SellerAmp Keeper, man, Keeper Product Finder. That's really only going to be the mass of what you need, right? Because the more strategic, the more pointed you get with your sourcing, the better off it is, the more effective it is.
Yeah. So if you're worried about that, Scott, you can definitely get a UPS box, and that'll help solve it.
I also wouldn't start with Keeper Product Finder necessarily, because Keeper Product Finder is just going to be like a lens, a goggle in which to look at the data through. I would just start with manual sourcing, reverse sourcing, go to some Nike listings. Now is a good time that you can start at Halloween listings and probably catch some smart sellers on the back end of their Halloween inventory. So next time they take part in like a holiday, like that sort of thing, you can learn from their products as they list them.
Or just figure out who the smart holiday sellers are, and then they're going to have smart Christmas products immediately too.
Yeah, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, probably some everyday products as well. Now is a really good time to find some smart sellers to be learning from.
Okay, I like this one. So what's a good area to start for a new seller? So I assume you mean kind of like first steps, basically, right? So you need your Amazon Seller Central account open, and then immediately you see 4 fine gentlemen here on the screen, right? watch some YouTube of all of ours, right? Maybe the most popular videos, beginner-friendly videos, right? Get SellerAmp, get Keepa, get in the game. Do the auto-ungate list that Warner and I give away. That'll get you auto-ungated a bunch of stuff. And then I love the idea of retail arbitrage when you're new, and then basic online arbitrage reverse sourcing, with the understanding that if I see products in people's storefronts and the price is stable, they're getting it from somewhere, right? And if you look at enough stuff, you're going to be able to get a certain amount of products profitable at some point too, right? And then during Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend, everything is profitable for the most part, right? So it's about to get really easy, and you're at a great point right now to get started with stuff.
And it's going to stay easy for the next 2.5 months, right? It's going to be busy through mid-January, almost to late January, before it starts to kind of die off, right? So there's a ton of opportunity. You're not too late. There's a ton of opportunity to make your sale this week, right? If you go to an outlet, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, etc., list that stuff, it'll start pumping.
Yep. Okay. But this might be like a 300 IQ play too, because this actually makes a ton of sense as well. So anyone watching, try this out. Appreciate you speaking up on that, Matt.
I've actually heard people doing that.
Boom. All right. Amazing, guys.
So
cool.
he's saying he'll open a case to basically tell them he just submitted an ungating application and asking them to look at it. Is that what you're saying?
Something like, yeah, Matt, let us know.
Which might get annoying if a lot of people start doing
I mean,
that.
who cares if it works?
We need
this.
If
it works.
Yeah.
That's smart. Yeah.
Yeah, that is super smart. Yeah.
So my first 1,000 on Amazon, when do I apply for I mean, as soon as possible, right? Because especially this time of year, you're going to have that extended payoff period. You're going to allow yourself to really squeeze that credit line as much as possible and make some good money.
Yeah, that said, if you're on your first $1,000, Chris, I would not over leverage yet. You don't have the knowledge to feel confident in that yet.
Cool. Sweet. Well, I got seriously good vibes in here. Should we hit a 6 o'clock occasionally on this? Because the key here is if I go to basketball at 6 on Mondays, everyone goes to basketball, so I'm not getting any burn. But if we stream at 6, then I can hit a game or two prior. So you guys let us know in the chat if you want us to hit.
Did you say I'm not getting any burn as in playtime?
See, now here we go. That's how I know you didn't make it past freshman team if you don't know that terminology.
You don't know what burn means?
I never played basketball.
Yeah. They never brought that up on
Corey, is this your revenge from last week?
Yeah, I'm trying to be on in retaliation.
We got to pick next week. We bully Miles. We ride against Miles next week.
we pretty much take turns each week.
Blame ignorance in the ticket about the turnaround time.
Yeah, nice.
Funny.
Oh, nice. Yeah, good call.
Yeah, that's fire.
Thoughts on splitting up a 6-pack socks into 2 3-pack? I mean, if there's a listing for it, then yeah.
They're not going to be branded though. I super would not.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Because you're going to be opening and then it's just empty.
Yeah, you're just asking for.
No, it's got to have original packaging, original UPC, all that kind of stuff on it.
But stuff from like BJ's and Sam's Club and Costco that's packaged and then bundled, that's something different, right? If you're buying like a 24-pack of like dish soap or something, that's completely cool to split that up into like 8 groupings of 3 or something like that. But something like socks where you would not, I mean, there's no branding inside of it, that's probably risky.
So Marvel Design said that they reached out to suppliers via email and LinkedIn last week. So far, they sent 40 emails and they got 15 responses, 1 product pricing received. Not enough ROI, but they think it's a good start. So yeah, I mean, to reach out, so like kind of work backwards, right? So it basically took you 40 emails to get 15 responses to get essentially 1 account, right? If you got 1 set of pricing. So that's kind of your ratio, right? You've got to essentially send 40 emails to get 1 price list. And if, let's just say, I mean, you got your first price list that wasn't profitable, but let's say 1 in every 3 are profitable, maybe on average, then you got to send 120 emails to get that first profitable or to make that first profitable purchase. That's kind of how I would look at it. And that's a really good start. And the other thing too is that the more you do this, the more reps you put in, the better you're going to get. So instead of 40 emails to open 1 account, it's going to be 30, then it's going to be 20. And then eventually it's going to be like 1 out of every 2 or 3. And so that's the mindset I would have.
What's cool too is that eventually, ideally, you'll be able to get referrals. You can personalize the outreach a ton. You can say, we just helped the brand do XYZ. We just increased their revenue XYZ on Amazon without them having to work, stuff like that. So Warner, I really like that post you made where it's like your favorite videos you released. So how about we go around the horn and everyone say one video that we all have that the audience should watch that they can get a lot of value from to grow their business.
You go first.
No. Well, I'm the pan. I mean, I get. All right. Okay.
Wait, what was the question?
What's your most valuable YouTube video,
Yeah.
basically?
Oh, keep it product finder videos. Just go to my top viewed to the bottom and just go through them all.
Well, okay. Corey?
I think mine would be the one about the auto PPC campaign. So it'll increase your sales by 10% bump to your sales. Takes less than 3 minutes to set up.
Putting thousands of dollars in these people's pockets.
Wow.
Yep.
I get a lot of good feedback on the comparing different sourcing methods video. See what kind of gravitate, what you like the most, or just like the winning product examples.
And definitely the Q4 video from 2 weeks ago as well.
Yeah. Everyone needs to watch Miles' Q4 videos, my Q4 videos. They will make you more money.
Yeah, like you like guys, you got.
We are putting way too much info in there. We want you to get rich this Q4. We're begging you to get rich with us.
There's a big difference between need and want. Yeah, and then I'll say you were saying.
I was just gonna say we literally text like almost daily. Like how can we present this in the best way? How can we make as many people rich as possible?
And just saying it. I'm gonna keep saying it over and over again. It's like so important. But yeah, so I'd say that the sourcing marathon video I posted 2 days ago, it's like 50 minutes long. You can hear like a ton of like my psychology on finding items and such. I think that's really valuable. And I have another one that's getting posted tonight because I have realized the key to having a good day is recording a video. So I want to do it as much as possible.
In sunlight.
Well, obviously, I mean, there's prerequisites. You got to work out. You got to sunlight. You got to wear the Lululemon belt bag. Like, come on, there's a lot of prerequisites.
What is it? The 25 pull-ups, 15 pull-ups. What is it?
15 on the first set. Crank them out, and then finish the rest out to 35. Yeah.
And then how many daily push-ups?
Typically around 100.
Bet.
Yeah, and then YouTube workout. Cold plunge.
Is there a way other than Frontier Co-op to get food and grocery? I mean, Frontier Co-op will work, but I mean,
Walmart, Target, anywhere you can get groceries online. Yeah, there's probably some grocery items on Walgreens and such too. Work on chest. I'm working on it. You can see. Y'all about to see me stun that Miami Sellers comments with the chest. Yeah. No, Eric's in the test, bro. It's been 2 months. I'm working on it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, he is actually getting gains for sure.
Yeah, and I'm about to dial in the diet too. I haven't been hitting the protein goals. But
it's that time of stream, boys.
It is that time, dude. This is a fantastic attendance tonight.
Great
Thank
money
you guys for coming too. Yeah. We ought to switch it up. Maybe we'll do like a 9 o'clock slot too sometime.
After hours.
Yeah, after hours. Yeah. Oh no, here it goes. He's like, "Fuck this again." Wait, come here.
Last time I threw him, he just laid there.
You could see it in George's eyes that he knows what's coming.
Yeah, he knows. He spent the whole day yesterday throwing up on my floor.
Oh,
he ate a chicken wing on the side of the road and then had an upset stomach the whole day.
Cool.
Hate to see it.
Yep.
All right. Any last?
Oh, Billy,
watching?
Who's got my money, man? Who's got my money?
He's got the bolo. Cool. Sweet. All right. We're good for tonight then, lads?
Absolutely.
Cool.
Do it.
All right. Have a great night.
Hanging out with everybody.
Yep.
all right, see you guys.
Yeah. Have a good one, guys.